But again, Errol Spence, Michael Carbajal, Nate Diaz, Tony Weeks, Oscar Valdez, Tomas Valdez, and Teofimo Lopez, and also dope, huh?
Yeah. Took me a minute to figure out how it is.
You see the order though?
Yeah.
And what would it be? Very first ever.
Yeah.
Second pair, more of like a Muay Thai slash.
First acceptable.
Yeah, first acceptable prototype right here. Yep.
That wasn't it.
And first Sergio Garibay mitt as well.
No.
Right? This one.
No.
Really? That wasn't made by Garibay?
Yeah, but
that was made by
Garibay.
Garibay.
Yeah, but he made other ones before that were.
Oh, weren't very
so
good.
Trash.
Yeah. Okay.
They weren't used.
Yeah.
So I don't know where those are. They just don't.
But these also Garibay.
There were some black ones. I think I sold them actually.
Really?
Yeah, I sold them.
But anyway, these also Garibay.
Yeah.
And then these right here, the first transition to more of like a mass production style of mitt, trying to bring the cost down. And these were made in China.
Yeah.
Those were actually surprisingly very good. Yeah, really lightweight. And as you can see, this mitt right here has made the rounds. Had a ton of signatures all over it. Some of them are kind of honestly fading a little bit, but so this was back on April 30th when we went to Las Vegas to see the Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez fight. My dad had received a free ringside ticket on Oscar's behalf for training him prior to his camp with Reynoso. While we were there at the MGM Grand, we ran into and got the signatures of legendary referee Tony Weeks and one of my favorite UFC fighters of all time, Nate Diaz. They're all over it. Name them later on. But then these ones right here are our current maker from Pakistan.
Yeah. It's where everything gets made, no matter.
Yep. Some, again, really surprisingly good material. Nice and supple.
That one right there is Buffalo.
Buffalo. Also customs. These have been used pretty much every day for the past, what, 2 years plus?
Yeah, 2.5 years.
That's how the screen print has held up. Looks pretty good to me.
They work great.
Awesome.
Yeah. The history, the prototypes, you know, and stuff, and there'll still be some improvement. And I'm gonna also add a tie pad.
Yeah, more like this style right here.
Yeah, something
the longer
like that you can kick, like you know, when tie pad.
I'll play a clip. I'll play a clip of him using these ones right here with one of our old members, Bryce McDaniel. As you might have noticed in these clips of Bryce and my dad, he's only using one mitt, and that's because he was recovering from a bicep tear he suffered in the first round of his first Masters Division match back in 2016, which he went on to win amazingly. Pain is secondary to the goal, as he likes to say, but that just goes to show the versatility of Versamitts. I mean, they hit everything from leg and body kicks to clinch knees and fast three-piece combos, all with one hand in this video.
These ones right here, I got, I used it when Jeff knocked that guy out in the beginning of that cage fight where Henry Cejudo was like debuting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's badass.
That wasn't even, it's not even really that long ago, you know.
I know.
It just shows how fast these careers and things develop.
I know. This is about, what would you say, about 5 or 6 years? 5 or 6 years of developing right here?
I think it's been, this is the 6th year.
6th year, I think so.
And it's been an incredible journey, for sure.
Super proud of you, man.
No, thank you. Thing is they don't make anything new hardly ever, you know. So when you go to the places where they make something, where they manufacture stuff, you know, in mass, like sports equipment is Pakistan. They didn't even recognize that I would have specs for them or anything, because they go, just tell me what you want made and we'll make you mitts like that. And I was like, you've never been mitts like this. So
it's totally new, and they're like, what do you mean never been mitts like this?
I had to figure out exactly what type of density and what type of ways to do it, you know, too. So they didn't, otherwise they would have, it wouldn't matter, but it goes up against your body, you know, and it has to absorb, it has to be comfortable enough for people to use the way it's intended. So
yeah,
I I had to figure out what thickness and what levels of foam and stuff that would be needed to actually do that. And I did.
Yep.
Also,
I was so skeptical at first when he first had the idea and had the guy, I forget his name. I know his first name's Luis. We'll tag his Instagram here somewhere. His name is Luis Gonzalez, and his Instagram handle is My Extreme Stitch. He does everything leatherwork and embroidery. Be sure to check him out. But when he first brought these, I was so skeptical, and even he.
I actually loved these ones right here. I actually did love these, but the problem was instantaneously that it's hard. See, and so when you hit that, then it would hit your hand and then compress into the hard pad, and they would hit your body. So it was really much, you know.
Plus
it absorbed it a lot. You know, it's obviously wasn't like taking a body shot directly like that, but it wasn't protective enough for me to ask other people to do it. You know, but I really just made these for me. But when I did it, it was just such a big deal. And Luis said too, he's like, once I told him the idea, he was like, this is too big, and that's why he passed it on to Sergio Garibay, because the fact that he thought it was going to be so big, it was going to be something that he couldn't handle. So I said, suggest anybody, and he suggested Sergio, and I called him up, and that's another story. But
we'll tell that another
day. Right here, it was transferred, so I had to figure out right away. Well, that didn't work.
And plus, the round shape of the receiving mitt on this side
right
would tend to cause wrists to roll
and stuff. Well, people, it would slip
off, stuff like that.
Slip off it. That was the biggest problem.
For sure.
And so, otherwise, you know, for me, it was way better than doing this.
Oh yeah,
even still, yeah. I like this one. I would use them.
Even still, probably, yeah. Jeff still uses them, even though he shouldn't be, because it's a piece of history. I'm gonna take them from him.
You can see how too that this wasn't going to work like that.
Yeah, too much tension on the on the overall design.
But after I got those from Luis, I went back to him and I said, "Look, I like it. It's just, but let's do some changes." And I tried, and I made it right here. I made a divot. Here you can see I had to make a divot so that the punch could be received, you know, in there and not slip off.
Yeah.
So that was like, it only took me like, when I thought of fixing these things, it only took me a few minutes really to figure out both. And the first time I used them. And so then I went about making them, but I made a divot here, which you see is continuous on all the models. That seems to.
Slight divoting.
Yep. Divot there.
To help catch the punch.
And boom. And the other way I make it acceptable, I'm gonna keep as a trade secret.
Yep, definitely a trade secret involved as
I
well.
had to figure out a way to make it not hurt so much, you know, when you hit it, to transfer the energy, which I did. And so,
but we will say that it is very important to place the dot over the vital. Very important to place the dot over the vital.
Use them, yeah. Put it right where you get your hair knocked out of you when you're a kid. You know, the solar plexus, the xiphoid process. Boom! You can hit that straight through. Have your boxer hit it right there.
Boom!
And it's gonna absorb around it. You know, this padding is gonna take it away from your vital area, pull air into the pad, and it should give you a nice little. But you still got to brace and everything. Still got to get yourself ready to receive a blow. Maybe, you know, cinching down in, whatever you have to do, or, you know. But it's not. It's something easy to get used to, and I've seen everybody, Buddy McGirt, do.
Here's Buddy McGirt working with Sergey Kovalev. Buddy is definitely one of our most elite and earliest adopters. Shout out to him.
But I've seen, you know, a lot of other guys.
Robert Garcia, I'll play him.
Here. So this is good, really good. So what you got? And see, I could use them. If you want a straight right or straight jab, right here, easy. It doesn't hurt. Or body shots too. I put my hand right here. It doesn't hurt at all. Body shot, chest. You know, I like that. Really good. And he's one that.
I put it right here on the liver like that, and they can hit that. And the great champions who punch, I'm telling you, there's another level, like Oscar Valdez, he hits the mitts. with me. And when he hits his hooks on them and stuff, I can just tell, as any expert at this would say, you can tell that the world championship level, you know, punches,
Sharpness.
the sharpness of the punches and the transfer of the energy, and they're really good punchers. But they, regardless, it's just gonna protect it. You know, I can feel that, but I can also still take it. No problem. So this is what I did with this, and I appreciate it. I do.
Yep.
I use it as a coach, and
Every
just
day,
appreciate
man.
that it got figured out.
And I'm thankful as a new generation coach that doesn't have to suffer with traditional style mitts that are
This
going to
right
end
here,
up
it just
tearing up
sucks.
my elbows and my
ever
shoulders.
since in 6 years, I haven't had elbow pain
Yeah.
that I used to have all the time.
Uh-huh.
No
And
more
it
tennis
eliminates, of course, things that are more bulky, like these big punch shields, things like this.
Yeah.
Like this thing weighs a ton. This thing weighs a ton.
You
Feel
know,
how
I would
heavy
say
it is. I mean,
it eliminates it, but I would say that if you're training with this, you're going to have a different purpose than working with your boxer to have to be accurate,
Focus
put
and,
combinations
yeah.
together, and to be able to
Realistic
teach them a little bit
situations.
about how they should act in the ring. You know, but this right here, it's great. I mean, they can kick it, they can punch it, they can
yeah,
whatever.
of course. It
But it's
definitely
not
has
gonna
its
have-
place. It definitely has
It's
its
not
place.
going to have the versatility. See what I'm saying of that, though? I can have them kick, punch, do a bunch of things on these pads, and on both sides.
Uh-huh.
So so it just, for me, it's the versatility of them that allows me, as especially a teacher in the sport, which hopefully we keep having, and I don't want to be losing those.
Yeah.
We need people that are understanding and try to progress our sport the same way other coaches innovate and develop and make plays and have training equipment and things for their sport. So very traditional sport, and I love that, and that's why I've done it though in the style of the traditional. Even this first one I made for the market there to debut it to people was I made in the colors of Mexico, the flag of Mexico, to honor the origin of the manoplas or the mitts in the first place. So I'm a person who respects the sport and respects the history of it, and I'm glad to kind of be part of it though too.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I've done. So.
And that's
anyways,
official right there with
yeah.
the patent that we have here over on the wall.
The patent, walk
Right
up
there.
to
We'll
it,
go
you
and
see
check
the
it out in a
golden
second
box,
here.
golden
But
box,
real quick, I
golden
wanted to
box.
say about in relation to that style of punch pad or
I don't like
body
the
shield.
But real quick, I don't like the stinky body.
Yeah, the one you have to actually
Very stinky.
put on. To have
it's
someone
sweaty.
else help you get it on.
Usually,
A lot of
the
the
big
time.
fat coach has been wearing it, so I can't put it on. I'm sorry to say it. I just don't have. It's just like I'm in a bell or something.
But check it out. One of the things
Yes.
someone said earlier was, well, what about a heavyweight? Like, wouldn't you want to use something like, a body shield? But
Like I said, I had a 460 pound.
yeah, of course. But something that you may not even think of is doubling up the mitt, on your body.
Oh, yeah, I could
People
do
can
that
do
too.
that too, and that really
too.
is a
I can
a
hold
great
it like
way.
this. Speaking of that, I could just for anybody, I can put it here like this and hold it, and they can throw
What-
a couple whack them with the hooks, and sometimes just like in a boxing ring, you could think of maybe what's his name, David
Benavidez,
Jr.
yeah.
and how he got the Porky Medina going,
Upstairs and is trying to bring it ice to the knife of Porky Medina. What a punch! And down goes Medina, and David Benavidez has starched Rogelio Medina.
with the boom, 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 and you just kind of throw combos to jostle stuff and to catch maybe the opponent's head in between, and make it hard for him to escape the sort of what I call the plinko machine.
Yeah.
But as you're hitting it, from side to side, since you can hit both sides, you can
Whether you do it with one hand
you can
or support it
practice
with the other.
Yeah, or support it with the other. You can practice that cadence of hitting those shots like that. Wow, that you can't really. I mean, you can do it on the other mitts, but it's just not. To me, it feels like almost like a.
More like a head and
Yeah, like
the weight of it,
yeah,
the
like what
stuff.
it's gonna
And
be
again,
like
they're
to
not
hit
heavy, but just the consistency of it is
And
much
this-
more like a
This
head.
glove right here, this right here is the same as a 16-ounce glove.
Yep.
It's the same 16-ounce glove.
Uh-huh.
These ones, this one right here. Maybe not these are actually going to measure those ones.
Those are probably the heaviest
These are
ones we've
16.
ever had made,
Yeah,
for sure.
these
But
are-
these are
a 16-ounce glove.
16 ounce. Yep.
That's it. And so
Might be 22 maybe, these
Right.
ones.
So they're lightweight, they're fast, they're reversible.
Yep.
That's another thing that I wanted as a feature. I wanted to be able to just use the other side for more than one thing, which was I think about heavy bags in two different ways. Like there's a softer heavy bag, that's for squishier a little bit, but heavy, and you hit it and it really absorbs the punches and you're hitting it, but it's kind of like running in sand or something. If you're out on the beach running in sand, it absorbs everything. But then there's like running on a track, where you got a hard sprinting surface or something like that, and you can really make connection and sprint on that. You're gonna slow you down like the sand.
Yeah.
So I figured I would use the make one side a fast side,
Yeah.
like that, for those that like those kind of mitts, and the other one
That
can be
one
the
side is
one that
thinner.
does the job of absorbing the shots from the body and all that. So I could use it either way against my body, but
Yep.
I prefer this way. Works the best, and the way I pretty much designed it. But the interesting thing that happened about that was when I put it like that and made it reversible, and I started to catch the faster punches like this, I realized that this kind of gave me a little bit of a counterbalance in a way to not let the mitt just, it just helped me just kind of
Stay in the pocket with it, kind of.
be fast too.
Stay tighter, yeah.
It's a strange thing that I didn't expect, which is one of many things I didn't expect right away from the mitts, and and there's still things that'll be discovered can be done with these that other boxers, and we have on my son's site, he has features where we'll show videos that people send me of the different ways they use the mitts. There's no set way yet.
Hits of the week.
Yeah, they're Versamitts. I mean, they're meant to be that way to so that the coach can have more options, so that he can do what he does as a coach. Not. I mean, he can. There's so many new options. It's only limited by the creativity of the coach and his knowledge. That's it. So I use them a certain way. I haven't thought of other ways that others have used, and I go, wow, that's great. Or I would do it that way. I wouldn't do it that way. It really doesn't matter as long as you have the choices. So it's like, I feel like I added a new card, to the deck,
Yeah.
So where if you just add another set of card, to the deck, you'd have so many more combinations.
Yeah, for sure. A lot
It's
more.
just exponential. It's
yep.
crazy. There's really
Just
opens
adding one more
really-
card gives you like a million more
Yeah,
options.
It just opens up the
adding one more
sport.
side to the
To
mitt
me,
obviously
this-
gives you
this
a
aspect
billion more
of-
options.
Exactly, yep.
So-
This aspect of training, man, it just now you can do it so many ways that it's uncountable, probably.
Yeah,
I'd say.
honestly.
Uncountable, maybe infinite.
Yep,
So-
especially when you consider being able to more appropriately present your stance to your boxer too.
I get to stand in the way that's one of the things that I discovered right away was that if I stand like a boxer, then I realized that this presents angles, lanes. If it's straight right here, you can see this is right there, that angle. If you're throwing at me. So if I throw a jab, I have them throw a jab to the body, I'd catch it about right
Jab,
there, not
okay,
over
boom.
here, like this.
A lot of people, would
Like
try
this or
to
something,
catch it,
So
with
I
a
got
traditional
that
mitt.
there. It's dead on balls, industry accurate, as they say. So I like the stop jab, which went under there, boom, and then come over the top, bam, and then they can left hook and find out. Guess what? It goes there,
Right there, bang.
not out here somewhere.
Hard to do filming through the camera.
I know, but I'm just saying,
No, I
it's not
know,
out
but
here
you're absolutely
somewhere.
right. I know.
Not
Yep.
out there. It's right here. So you people, we find ourselves. I found that it changed a little bit my thoughts on what I should be doing with my boxers and stuff, but not in any kind of drastic way that anybody be afraid of, but change, But it did. It opened my mind to the realities of angles in boxing. The realities are such that this is one way to stand towards me, and attacking me from over there at that angle. It's very demonstrative of the angles and the way they represent themselves in the boxing ring. So if I lean over this way, they know to kind of shoot that way. Boom.
Shovel hook type shot.
And my idea is that I want to fire towards the center. I don't want to swipe punches at people. I want to drive them
Do we
through
have?
the body.
Do we have?
This,
show you?
otherwise you'd be going like
Yeah,
this.
well, I mean, yeah, you go like that, yeah. And clearly the 2 dots demonstrate that this punch would be swiping away from the body. It wouldn't penetrate towards the spine the same way that this punch does.
Right. That would go
Straight towards the spine,
Right.
and that punch is much
the
more likely
trajectory-
to penetrate
the
and do
trajectory,
damage.
You can see, yeah, you can see it like like CSI or something. If a bullet shot in through here, came out there. I don't mean to be morbid about it, but boom, boom, right, and then it'd go right to my spine.
Boom.
That just tells me that this is where we need to be throwing the shots towards our opponents. You know, not an uppercut isn't just up like that. It's designed to hit through the target.
To go up through, like an uppercut. Would go,
People always
boom.
say punch through the target. There's sort of 2 ways to think about
I'll show.
that.
Robert was just doing that in one of the clips I was showing you earlier. You had
So,
Jose Ramirez
you know,
throwing
there's-
through the body rear uppercut that's less like a to the chin uppercut, and one that's to that spleen right there in the front.
Right, and regardless, if punches are going forward, it's just palm up is the
Or you might end up like Tyson Fury and hit yourself in the face, huh, with the boom.
yeah, the ricochet shot.
Reason behind it was I was in a fight. I couldn't really feel the other guy's punches, so I decided to punch my own self in the face.
Right, and or the ricochet shot that I got hit with by Errol Spence Jr.
Yep.
So it's just one of those things that I knew about,
Classic.
you know, and it's built into this to demonstrate, and in that case we did.
We told them right before. We told them, hey, this is why we made this. Where we're swiping our punches, and sure enough, he swiped his punch, and my dad took it like a champ. I think he did.
You know, it's an expectation of that's one thing or another. But if you're doing the Mittwork with and you're a coach and you're teaching boxers and you're doing Mittwork with them, you know, you gotta have the situations, you know, that are gonna come up. You gotta have an understanding of the sport. It's not just to exercise them, you know, all the time. You know? So, and some people you can do that. If you know, beginning coaches can really work guys out good, you know. But honestly, for me, it's just not enough that, as a coach, I wanted to have knowledge to give to them that's based in something that's repeatable, real, terminology, learn all those things. So as a coach, I became a research machine, you know, finding out what boxing was about and about what the great people who train and others say about it and what they did with their boxers. So all that is, you know, goes into what happened here.
Mm-hmm. I'd say that about does it about the freaking history, man, right there.
Yeah.
Badass, man.
Achievement, yeah.
One more look real quick at these signatures on here. There's Errol Spence right there,
Yeah.
right after hitting him on the chin.
This is
Tony Weeks.
Bobby Ferrara, world championship referee. Man. I love it and respect.
But again, Errol Spence,
Michael Carbajal.
Michael Carbajal, Nate Diaz, Tony Weeks, Oscar Valdez, Tomas Valdez, and
Teofimo Lopez.
Teofimo Lopez, and also what was the referee's name?
Bobby Ferrara.
Bobby Ferrara.
Yep.
Badass.
There's going to be more.
Oh, many more for sure.
More and more.
It's badass. All right, proud of you, Dad. Love you.
Thank you. So all of that stuff culminated in a process, you know, of getting a patent, because I realized I had to protect my idea right away. So this is what the government gives you after they do their research. Took 4 years. It basically says that this is it's basically a legislation or a law or something that says that I did this and I've created a new and useful scientific new and useful thing that people can use, and it examines the claims that it makes, and then they approve or disapprove the patent, and they approve my patent because they do a lot of research. This is all the research they do. They made diagrams and to describe the features and what it is that's happening and what it does to make it work. And let's see all of it. So they made illustrations of uses explaining why it's different. And I think they even, here's all the claims and stuff like that. Descriptions of the drawings. A lot of this stuff was written by me, and not my attorney, but it's very descriptive of everything that it does and all the claims that it makes, including helping people's elbows. And they're all approved. And then my favorite part about this document is, it's my opinion, that the examiner or whoever it is that produces this illustrator drew me.
No doubt about it.
A pretty good
No
likeness.
doubt about it, in my opinion.
Pretty good likeness.
We sent that picture even with those particular mitts on. I remember we sent that picture to the patent office.
And that they drew off of there. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Badass, man.
And it's only one of 10 million.
Yep, right.
Ever. So pretty cool. I'm happy. I'm just happy what it does for the sport.
It's awesome, man.
I've heard of
unbelievable.
The best coaches in the world, like of the top boxers that we have now, told me personally that this is the most innovative thing they've seen in the 40 years they were coaching and beyond. So a lot of comments like that from a lot of people at the pinnacle of the sport that really understand I changed the game. So, which is what Sergio said when he saw my, when he finally, after negotiating over it, he saw my idea.
You made him sign like a non-disclosure agreement type thing, right?
You changed the game. You changed the game. You changed the game.
After 25 years,
25 years, you changed the game.
What did you're like, what do you mean 25 years?
What do you mean, 25 years? You've been making it. He said, in 25 years, you changed the game. You know, he's been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm happy to be part of that history, and that will be in there forever.
Badass,
Yeah, if you get a patent number, it'll have to be one
after that one.
That one.
Yeah.
I'm happy and proud of it.
It's awesome, man. Badass.
Yeah.
Love you.